You're not lazy, you're just busy with the wrong things. Think about your last week. How many hours did you spend working? How many tasks did you check off? Now ask yourself, how many of those things actually mattered? If you feel productive but unfulfilled, focused but going nowhere, constantly moving but never arriving, this is why. In Japan, there's a word for the reason you get up every morning. A concept so powerful, it's credited with longevity, mental clarity, and unshakable inner peace. It's called Ikigai, and it might be the antidote to the busyness epidemic destroying your focus. What Ikigai really means, 生其甲斐, 生其甲斐. Literally, a reason for being. But here's what most people get wrong about it. It's not your passion. It's not your side hustle. It's not some grand mission statement you frame on your wall. Ikigai is quieter than that. More honest, more grounded. It's the intersection of 4 essential questions. What do you love? What energizes you? Not what impresses others. What are you good at? Your natural strengths, not what you wish you were good at. What does the world need? What creates real value, not vanity metrics? What can you be rewarded for? What sustains you financially, not what drains you? When these 4 circles overlap, you find Ikigai, your reason for being. But here's the deeper truth most productivity content won't tell you. Productivity without purpose becomes noise. You can optimize your calendar, gamify your to-do list, and batch your tasks into color-coded blocks. But if the why behind your work is missing, you'll always feel like you're running on a treadmill. Ikigai asks a different question. Not how can I do more, but why does this matter? Why most people procrastinate? Let's talk about procrastination. You've been told it's a discipline problem, a lack of willpower, a character flaw you need to fix with better habits or a louder alarm clock. But what if that's completely wrong? What if procrastination isn't a bug in your system, it's a feature? Here's what research in behavioral psychology shows us. We delay tasks that feel meaningless. Your brain is not designed to execute tasks for the sake of completion. It's designed to protect your energy, prioritize survival, and seek reward. When a task feels disconnected from anything that matters, when it's just another checkbox on someone else's agenda, your brain resists. Not because you're lazy, because it's smart. Busyness becomes a way to avoid the deeper question. What am I actually working toward? So we fill our days with emails that don't need responses, meetings that could have been messages, projects that look good on paper but feel empty in practice. And then we wonder why motivation disappears. Here's the truth. You don't procrastinate because you're undisciplined. You procrastinate because the task has no meaning, and your nervous system knows it. Ikigai flips this on its head. When your work is aligned with your reason for being, procrastination doesn't just decrease, it becomes irrelevant. Because you're no longer forcing yourself to care. You already do. Ikigai as a filter for work. So, how do you actually use Ikigai in your daily life? Not as a philosophy to admire, as a decision-making tool. Think of Ikigai as a filter for everything that competes for your attention. Every email, every meeting, every urgent request, every shiny opportunity. Before you say yes, ask, does this move me closer to who I want to become? Not who you were, not who others expect you to be, who you are becoming. Does this support my long-term direction? Not your quarterly goals, not your performance review, your direction, the trajectory of your life. If the answer is no, it's a distraction. And distractions dressed up as productivity are the most dangerous kind. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're invited to a networking event. It's well attended, good for your resume, your manager encourages it. But when you filter it through Ikigai, you ask, does this align with what I love? Do I enjoy this kind of interaction? Does this use what I'm good at? Or am I performing a version of myself? Does this serve what the world needs? Or is this just transactional? Can this sustain me? Will this lead somewhere meaningful? Or just more invitations? If it fails to filter, you don't go. Not out of laziness, out of clarity. You're not rejecting opportunity, you're protecting your Ikigai. This is how you start saying no to meetings that don't move anything forward, projects that drain you for someone else's benefit, tasks that look productive but feel hollow. And yes too, deep work that builds something real, relationships that energize you, contributions that align with your strengths and values. Ikigai doesn't make you more productive. It makes you selectively productive, which is the only kind that lasts. How Ikigai reduces busyness. Here's what happens when you live with Ikigai as your compass. Less scattered effort. You stop dabbling in everything and commit to what matters. Your energy becomes concentrated, not diluted. Fewer meaningless tasks. You don't just work faster, you work on fewer things. And the things you do work on carry weight. Clear priorities. You stop asking, what should I do today? And start asking, what does today require of me, given who I'm becoming? That shift is everything. Because busyness thrives in ambiguity. When you don't know what matters, everything feels urgent. But when you have Ikigai, a clear sense of purpose, urgency loses its grip. You stop chasing every notification, every opportunity, every just-in-case task. You start choosing impact over activity, and something unexpected happens. Busy fades. Focus returns. Not because you're doing more, because you're doing less with more intention. This is the paradox of Ikigai. The more selective you become, the more effective you are. The more you let go, the more you gain. Your calendar empties. Your mind quiets. Your work deepens. And for the first time in a long time, you feel like you're moving in a direction, not just in circles. Practical Ikigai work habit. Okay, philosophy is beautiful. But how do you actually practice this? Here's a simple daily ritual rooted in Ikigai. Every morning, before you open your email or check your calendar, write one sentence. Today's work matters because. Finish that sentence. Not with something generic, something true. Examples. Today's work matters because I'm building a skill I'll use for the next decade. Today's work matters because I'm solving a problem that genuinely helps people. Today's work matters because it brings me closer to financial freedom and creative autonomy. Once you've written that sentence, ask, what is the one task today that supports that reason? Not 3 tasks, not 5, 1. The task that, if you did nothing else, would still make today meaningful. Then, and this is critical, ignore the rest. Put it on tomorrow's list. Delegate it. Delete it. But don't let it steal focus from the one thing that aligns with your Ikigai. This creates 3 things. 1. Clarity. You know exactly why you're working. Not for a paycheck, not for approval, for a reason that's yours. 2. Momentum. When your work has meaning, progress feels natural. You're not dragging yourself forward. You're being pulled. 3. Calm discipline. You're not hustling out of anxiety. You're working from a place of quiet purpose. And over time, this compounds. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. And suddenly, you look back and realize, you didn't just get more done. You built something that matters. Ikigai isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. In a world obsessed with productivity hacks, time blocking, and optimization, Ikigai offers something radically different. Permission to slow down and ask why. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. You can have the perfect morning routine, the best task management system, the most disciplined schedule. But if your work isn't aligned with your reason for being, none of it will feel like enough. You'll still feel restless, scattered, busy, but unfulfilled. But when your work aligns with purpose, procrastination fades because you're not forcing yourself to care. Focus deepens because distractions lose their pull. Energy lasts because meaningful work doesn't drain you. It fills you. Meaningful work doesn't need motivation. It pulls you forward. And that's the gift of Ikigai. It doesn't make you more productive. It makes you purposeful. And purposeful work is the only kind worth doing. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Gcon for calm, Japanese-inspired productivity without the noise. Because the goal isn't to do everything. It's to do the right things with intention, with clarity, with Ikigai.